What is the Celette body repair system? And by the way, Celette is spelled C-E-L-E-T-T-E if you want to Google it. Today we're going to talk about what happens if you have a classic Mercedes that's in a major collision and looks like it's going to be totaled. And we're going to talk about how the factory had determined cars like that should be repaired, and also how you can deal with these problems today because they're not making any more of these cars. So Mercedes partnered with a French company called Celette, and I know what you're thinking. Oh, they're French, their cars aren't that good, their food is good, they probably spend more time eating than designing a body repair system. But I'm going to assure you these are the same people that built the Citroën DS, and also the same people that built the Alpine A610, which is a fantastic sports car. It's like the DeLorean that wasn't a piece of junk, if you're ever curious about it. So the Celette body repair system was a rolling table or bench, and this bench had four wheels. It was made of heavy steel. I mean, it's very heavy. It's like a truck chassis. It has square tube frames. It's made of extra thick steel. It's undistortable unless you were to, say, drop it off a 55-story building onto concrete. The Celette bench has all these mounting fixtures where you can bolt up these alignment points. So it's like a series of brackets that you have to bolt up to the vehicle that's being repaired and to the bench itself. Now the vehicle can't just go on the bench with its engine, transmission, rear subframe, front subframe, suspension, etc. Every part of the vehicle, the suspension, the drive shaft, the transmission, the engine, the rear axle, has to come out. So it's just a shell. You can leave things like wiring harnesses in, you can leave doors on, but you do not want the drive line in it. Now this is so important because the Celette frame bench bolts up and anchors in the same mounting points that the driveline and suspension parts do, because those are the key points of the car that have to be in alignment. And if they don't bolt up, then there are tools you can hook up that are also made by Celette to the vehicle structure and chassis to pull it in the correct direction so that all the points begin to align. After you do the structural repairs to the car's unibody, then you can start doing repairs of the sheet metal. You could start repairing things like the inner fenders, the outer fenders, the doors, the sunroof, the glass fitment. You know, all of this stuff is dependent on how the structure of the car is. So the underlying theory about Mercedes-Benz construction and about the Celette body repair system is that the Celette body repair system is designed to hook to the unibody of the car. The design theory of a unibody versus a separate body on frame is that a unibody is going to be more structurally rigid and is not going to distort under impact. Unfortunately, unibodies have more crash absorption qualifications. They will distort to absorb the impact, killing the vehicle but protecting the occupants so that the person inside the car doesn't get squished to death in a tinny body. The main benefit of a unibody is that you're protected all the way up to your head. Now, if you look at some National Highway and Traffic Safety Administration videos on YouTube, they crash tested cars like a 1957 Chevy. And you could tell at the bottom of the car where the chassis stays intact, but the body where the person sits is compressed to the point where the driver's almost always killed in a major impact. Mercedes had a tendency to build cars that were ultra crumpleable on the front and at the back and to an extent the sides, but the passenger compartment was designed to stay intact. Now, while this situation is great if you have good insurance and you could just go buy another car, if you want to repair the car and you can't get another car, there had to be a solution. And that's where the Celette body system comes into play. The Celette body system allows the owner of the car and the body shop to work together to come up with a parameter to repair the car to factory standards, so everything fits, feels, looks, touches, doesn't rattle, doesn't rust, looks like it did the way before. Now, Mercedes are put together with resistant spot welds. That means that two pieces of metal are held together, and a machine determines how much electrical resistance is needed to get the two pieces of metal to bond, to stick together so that their atoms fuse at a certain point, and they're squished together and welded with an electrical resistant spot welder. That means that the atoms in these substances, unless there's severe rust, are permanently bonded and are now the two pieces of metal essentially become one because of the electric current passed through. Now, these pieces of metal are spot welded in hundreds of places to give the unibody its rigidity. And they could be replaced in individual sections. They have to be drilled out and re-welded, but that's the beauty of the spot welding system. Anyway, if you enjoyed this video and you felt like it's useful, please give us a like, share it, and subscribe. And if you want more information about the Solette body system, some of it's in the Mercedes information, in the technical service information, like the 123 body and chassis manual. But for the most part, if you want more information about the system, send us some requests for videos if you're a Patreon member, and we could discuss it more. I actually own a 123 series Solette body repair system because I think in the future those are going to be very useful, and I think that they could save a lot of great cars. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to come back for more great classic Mercedes videos, and don't get into an accident, because none of this is easy work or cheap work. It just is the only way to do it right.